Alright guys, hold on. Before you go anywhere, this is not going to be a boring tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you not only how to perfectly interweave a deck of cards together in a perfect shuffle, but I'm also going to teach you a little bit of the history behind the mathematics and behind the discovery of the Pharaoh Shuffle, as well as some applications of the in Pharaoh and out Pharaoh shuffles. So basically I'm going to teach you a magic trick that uses this principle, but also I want you guys to sort of learn and understand the principle behind the Pharaoh Shuffle so that you can go ahead and create your own. Let's start with some history. So the Pharaoh Shuffle was first sort of discovered by theoretical mathematician Percy Diaconis, who wrote a huge report on this, and basically it was a study of how to perfectly shuffle a deck of cards in two different ways. This was better explained by John Maskelyne, and he would call it the Pharaoh's Dealer Shuffle. Now in a Pharaoh Shuffle there are two types of shuffles. There is the out Pharaoh, where the original bottom card stays on the bottom and the original top card stays on the top, and then there is the in Pharaoh. These names were first coined by Alex Elmsley, another great mathematician and magician as well. Let's look at the differences between the in Pharaoh and the out Pharaoh before we get into teaching how to do it. Let's start with the out Pharaoh, my favorite. Now the out Pharaoh is very interesting because as it retains the bottom and top card, basically what you can accomplish with this is if you do 8 perfect out Pharaoh shuffles, the deck goes back to the original order you started with. Fun fact, if you add 12 cards to a deck, making it 64 cards, you will only need 6 perfect Pharaoh shuffles to get back to new deck order. Something you should also know is that if you place a card somewhere in the deck and out Pharaoh this deck, the position of that card will be multiplied by 2 minus 1. And the in Pharaoh basically is the complete opposite of that. So instead of 8 shuffles to bring it back to the deck order that you had, you need 52 shuffles. That's insane. So you need to perfectly shuffle a deck 52 times to get back to the original deck order that you had it in. After 26 shuffles, you essentially reverse the order of the deck completely. Interesting, right? Alex Elmsley, as he was a famous mathematician and magician, would come up with really cool ways of positioning a card, but not only that, how to actually count them in binary. So for instance, if you wanted a card to 23rd position, he would essentially say, well, that's 22, and 22 in binary is 10110, where the 1s are the in shuffles and the 0 are the out shuffles. So that would take in shuffle, out shuffle, in shuffle, in shuffle, out shuffle, and your card would be 23rd from the top if it started on top. Just a little bit of knowledge for you guys. I know this sounds complicated, but really it isn't. Once you start actually applying the mathematics to it and do the test yourself, place a card on the top of the deck, in shuffle it, you'll see it'll be second. If you in shuffle it again, it'll double its position again. So the in shuffle, not like the out shuffle, the in shuffle, it will double a position of the card. So the out shuffle doubles it minus 1, and the in shuffle just doubles it. So try this out yourself if you already know how to Pharaoh Shuffle. If you don't, just stay tuned and we'll teach that in a second. But place a card on top of the deck and in shuffle it once, it'll be second. In shuffle it again, it'll be 4th. In shuffle it again, it'll be 8th. And again, it'll be 16th, and so on and so forth. Now there are a lot of literature on the mathematics and applications of the Pharaoh Shuffle. And if you guys think at home that math is boring and not for me, some of the best principles in Magic are based on mathematics, and some of the best creators in Magic are mathematicians. But let's say you only like the practical application. It's fun to actually understand the theoretical side and the application side of this move before you end up using it, because then you won't be so confused when performing it, or even reading a book which says in Pharaoh, out shuffle, etc, etc. You won't be so lost and confused. Thank me later. Alright, so now let's get into the actual tutorial of how to Pharaoh Shuffle a deck. And afterwards, I'm going to teach you guys an effect that you guys can go out and perform straight away. Super easy. All you really need to know how to do is to Pharaoh Shuffle, and you can perform this and look like a master illusionist. Or mathematician, whatever. Let's get into the tutorial right now. So here we go. I'm going to be using the block playing cards by my friend Frank. I'll leave a link below where you guys can check these out. They're pretty sick and they feel great. All right, so first of all, I'm going to demonstrate what an out Pharaoh looks like. First, you want to split the deck into 2 halves, and then once you Pharaoh them together, basically the bottom card is the same and the top card stays in the same position. All the other cards interweave like so, and it's one perfect shuffle. So satisfying to watch, isn't it? An in shuffle is the exact same thing, but instead of retaining the bottom and top card, these are going to change positions like so. Let's go into the mechanics of the Pharaoh Shuffle. So first of all, you want to break off the pack into 2 piles. Don't get upset if you can't perfectly split a deck into 26-26. That's a bit of a skill and a bit of muscle memory over time. You just kind of learn how to grab equal halves, and it's not always perfect, but for the most part, it pretty much lands itself every time. And you can do a test right away. So for instance, if I come here and I start to Pharaoh, I know right now that I have way more cards on this block than I do over here. So I can just grab 2 and bring them over here, and now I'm pretty much 50-50. And the grip is very important here, because if you just take 2 packs and try to shove them together, you know, this might happen, right? And it won't be a perfect Pharaoh, it won't be even close. So what you want to try to do is, first of all, grab your 2 halves, and here's how you're going to hold them. So if you're right-handed, this is what I do. There are many different ways that you can sort of Pharaoh shuffle. I'm going to teach you how I do it. The right hand, you're going to hold the deck like this with your index, a little bit of pressure on top here. The left hand, you're going to hold it like this, similar, but instead of having your finger here, you're going to curl it underneath like this, and you're going to apply pressure upwards with your finger like that. Because the idea is, if these decks are loose, you're not going to get a Pharaoh. They have to be absolutely tight. These 2 get lined up, and they are perfectly lined up with no spaces in between, allowing the Pharaoh to happen. One quick thing you want to do before you square these up: tap that, make sure that that's square. You can tap that, make sure that that's square. Just square these up nice and evenly, because if they're not square, you won't be able to Pharaoh. So square them up, keep the pressure. Those are 2 points right there. Now, the right hand is gonna come here. As you can see here, I'm not pressing them in together. I'm starting on the bottom. Started from the bottom now, sorry. These 2 are gonna connect. I'm going to, once I'm lined up here with this index and this index here, once I'm lined up, my left hand index is going to come to the back and apply a bit of pressure. And this hand here is going to move like this. You're kind of going to give it this motion, okay? Starting with the corner. And then I kind of move in and back. And you can rock back and forth. Don't apply too much pressure, because if you apply too much pressure, you're gonna ruin your cards and you're not gonna get a nice Pharaoh. So let the cards interweave by themselves, kind of like this, okay? Starting here, you can slide forward all the way, you can come back. Index goes back here, rock back and forth, just like that. Something important to note, USPC, US Playing Card Company, when they print cards, some of them are traditionally cut and some of them are untraditionally cut. Now what this means is that when you take a fresh deck out of the box, if this was cut in the factory face down, which is traditional, you will be able to Pharaoh from the bottom up very easily. If they were cut face up in a factory, then it's going to be a lot harder to Pharaoh from the bottom up. You'll have to actually Pharaoh from the top down. The other option is to turn the deck over and Pharaoh from the bottom up, which essentially means you're Pharaohing from the top down. Once a deck is broken in like this one, you'll be able to do both. But most decks, when they're brand new, will give one way and sort of resist on the other. So just play around with that and see which way works better for you. As far as the in Pharaoh goes, instead of starting over the bottom card, you're gonna start under the bottom card and finish under the top card. And that's basically your in Pharaoh. Now, let's look at this in a practical way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for this effect, I will need you to go ahead and select any card you like. This one right here, perfect, the 5 of Hearts. We're gonna take that 5 of Hearts and leave it somewhere within the deck. Now, I'm actually gonna give that a few cuts just to make sure it's completely lost. We'll give it a few table cuts. And for good measure, maybe even a shuffle, just to make sure that that card is without a doubt completely lost within this deck, and there's no way that myself, as a magician, I could find or locate that card. Here we go. One more cut for good measure. I believe that your card is going to show itself to me and reveal itself to me. Let me know if this is your card. The 10 of Diamonds it's not your card, is it? Huh. Maybe, you know what? Maybe this is an indicator card. Maybe this card is going to tell me about your card. Maybe it tells me your card is red. Maybe it tells me your card is a diamond, which it isn't. More importantly, maybe it tells me where your card is. Now that's a 10. Let's count 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This card here. What was your card again? Was it the 5 of Hearts? There you go. Alright, let's get into how this effect works. It's quite simple, but you need to pay attention. So first, you need your indicator card. This is the card that's going to tell us where your card is. What's great about this is that no matter what you can use any card at all, and through the in Pharaoh, out Pharaoh formula, you can have their selection end up wherever you like. So I like to go with 10, nice and even number. For their card to be beside the 10 after one out Pharaoh, you're going to need to place it 5th face up from the top, right? So that's the card, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards on top of this card here. So now if I out Pharaoh'd this right now, that would double the position -1 of the card, bringing it to 9th, right? Which is no good, we don't want it to be 9th. But we forgot to add a factor in. There's gonna be one more card to add to this. There's gonna be their selection. So the way this trick starts out, you wanna block spread this. So get past this. What a block spread is just basically spreading past that so that you don't reveal this, because if you spread this, that's no good. You wanna block spread. Have them choose somewhere from down here. Let's, that's funny, okay? I just performed a trick on myself. We got the 5 of hearts here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna swing cut this packet into this hand and have them place the 5 of hearts down on this packet. So basically, you're now sitting 5 cards over this card. Now, what we wanna do is keep a break. Whatever way you want to do it, you want to keep a break here, making sure you don't lose that break. And I'm going to double undercut, basically just dropping half of this pack here, bringing it on top, and dropping the other half down and bringing it on top. Now I do this little false table cut. This is all false cuts. You can do any false cut you like. But now I go into a Pharaoh shuffle. I want to out Pharaoh. I want to make sure the top card stays the top card. And how do I do that? I line up the top cards, and see right now, I'm 2 on top, so that's bad. So what you do is you just keep talking, but it does not have to be a perfect shuffle. All you have to do is have a perfect out shuffle on the top of the deck. I'm having a little bit of difficulty because I'm looking at my monitor, but let's do this correctly. Here we go. So now that I'm out Pharaoh'd, we know that the indicator card is 10 cards away from that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the selection. If you calculate the selection, this card was 6 cards down, correct? So if we do an out Pharaoh, what does an out Pharaoh do? It multiplies it by 2 minus 1, which makes it 11th. 11th is perfect because we need to count 10 cards away. So not including this one. So if we included this one, that would be 11 cards down. But since we're starting to count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we are 10 cards away, okay? That's a little bit complicated, but let that sink in. We were 6, we multiplied it by 2 minus 1, which gave us 11. We are now 11 cards away, so that if we count 10, the 10th card will be the 5 of hearts. Now you're in this position, all you have to do is cut it into the middle of the deck and spread, and voila. This is fun because now if you don't know their selection, you can fish. You can say, this is an indicator card. Your card was red, wasn't it? And if they say no, you can go, well, on the back, I mean, as a little gag. Then you can say, well, it was a diamond, wasn't it? And they say no. You say, oh. And sometimes that'll hit, which is great. But if it doesn't, you just say, well, maybe the number is telling me something. 10. Let's count 10. 1, 2, 3, 10. The 5 of hearts, 10 cards away. Play around with the principle. You know what? Take a card, place it on top, in shuffle it as many times as you can to see how many times you can actually double the position of the 10. Eventually, this will become muscle memory. It's a difficult thing to master. For the most part, a lot of effects do not require a perfect Pharaoh shuffle, but only a partially perfect Pharaoh shuffle. So worth learning. All right, guys, that was my tutorial on the Pharaoh shuffle. I hope I did it justice, and I hope you guys take this information and sort of run with it. The Pharaoh shuffle can be used both for cardistry, but it could also be used very strongly for magic. If you guys really take the time to understand the principle that I explained, maybe I went over it a little bit quickly, but once you start actually practicing and putting in practical time into this, you will understand the difference between in and out shuffles, and you will also understand the applications there for them. So have fun with that effect, have fun with this, and like this video if this was helpful. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.